Well, good evening, everyone. Today is June 12th. We are about to open our bourbon barrel. So it was filled 3 months ago to the day. I'm going to hand Megan the phone, and what we're going to do is get a sample out of here to go to Merle Maple down in Varysburg. And they are the ones that do the testing for us to make sure the alcohol content is not over 2%. Because if it is, we can't sell it. Okay, that worked better than it did last year. So, got the lung out. We already rocked it back and forth, shook it up. Set this stuff on the ground, and what we are going to do is draw a sample. I'll have Megan, I'll just set it here. So what we want to do is get down in, so we get not just what's on the top or the bottom, but a good sample from in the bottle. And that should be enough for what they need. And now I'm going to have Megan hand me the refractometer. And the other thing we have to do is check the density to see what the density is. Oop. Had a piece of charcoal in there from the barrel. Okay, we are at right at 67. 66 3/4, 67. So that's right where we want to be. Now the last thing we need to do is test it, taste it. Oh yeah, there's some bourbon there. Okay, so we'll get this to Merle and have him test it. Oh, we don't want to put that back in there. Back up. We'll get it to Merle and get it tested, and if it's where we want it to be sugar wise or alcohol wise, we will get it filtered and we will get it bottled up. So stay tuned. Okay, so when we last left you, we had taken a sample out of here, sent it to Merle. We got the results back, and it said that we are at 1.33% alcohol by volume, which I believe is what it was, 1.3. So if it's under 2, we can go ahead and sell it without having to do anything besides filter and bottle it. So what we got here is our contraption. We got a 15-gallon barrel that with syrup in it that weighs 11 pounds a gallon, so you're like 165 pounds of syrup, and the barrel itself weighs probably close to another 40 pounds, so it's all Justin and I can do to wrestle this thing around. So we've taken the advantage of using a piece of machinery that we have here. You see the forklift in the background, and we're going to dump it through this screen. The screen's here to catch any of the charcoal that comes out of the barrel with it. So we're going to try to do this without making a huge mess. Justin is going to pop this bung. So go ahead and give it a, don't just give it a hang on.
A quick one?
Just, yeah, kind of tap. Yeah. So, there we go. Lower the forklift. Hurry up. Keep going. Yeah, well, good. Stop. So there you go. We'll know not to do that next year. We learned a lesson right there. So at the beginning I told you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So here's the ugly. Lost a little bit, not too terrible. This pot should hold about 15 gallons. Justin, take the pry bar from me, please. What I'm doing is I'm putting my hand here to keep it from plugging. It seems to be helping a little bit. We got a bucket here. This pot should hold 15 gallons. It's going to be really close, so we might have to open that valve and drain some right into the bucket. Go ahead, Justin. This thing, I don't think is... Make sure it doesn't come flying out of there. Hurry up, open it up. You can see we're right full to the top here. Oh. I think we're getting pretty close to being empty. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're right close to empty, so turn that off. So,
That's fine.
well,
Caught most of
so this is what we were trying to, that's what we were trying to filter out before we run it through the filter press. So we'll just finish filtering this, and then we're going to heat it up. We're going to do it tomorrow. We'll heat it up on the filter and then run it through the filter press into the bottler. And we got a new toy to try out from a friend of ours. It's a bottling unit. So we'll show you that. Okay, so we fast forwarded to the next morning. Well, the next noon. Anyway, so in the brew kettle there, and you can see it's about 180 degrees, and we got about, I'd say about 9.5 gallons in there. So the remaining 4.5 gallons is in this kettle, and you can see that's at 165 degrees, and that's on that burner. So what the plan is, you can see we got our diatomaceous earth over there and our filter press here. So once this is up to probably around 205, I'm not worried about it getting over that 190 mark we like for bottling. Because we're running it through the filter press, it's going to be any sugar, sand, or niter that we make from going over that 190 degrees is going to get filtered out anyway. So we'll get that kettle to temperature. We'll get this kettle to temperature. We'll take this kettle and set it over here on the floor next to the big kettle. We'll put our diatomaceous earth in the big kettle, get that going through the filter press. Once we've made enough room, then we'll add this kettle here into that kettle that's already going to have diatomaceous earth in it, so we can just keep running it right through the filter press. And on this burner here, we will have our canner, or our bottling unit here, and that will just keep it at temperature. And what we are going to be showing you today is this unit from Leader. This is a vacuum bottler. So this end here, sorry, I'm doing the filming myself. This end here goes into your syrup, and then this end will go on top of a bottle and comes out there. And once it gets full, it will splash through this hose a little bit, and there's a container over here to catch any overflow in, and it fills every bottle to the same spot. And to stop it, you just lift it off the bottle. So we'll see how that goes. We borrowed that from a friend of ours, Jay Claus. He was kind enough to let us try it out. We've been thinking about purchasing one, but he had one, and we're going to see how it works for us before we have to lay out the money for it. So I'm going to put the camera down now and pay attention to some temperatures. So we'll get back to you when we get to doing some filtering or bottling. Okay, we're back. I apologize for the lack of footage, but I was by myself. Now Riss is out here with me. Ouch, that's hot. So as you can see, we got the 2 kettles up to temperature. I got the DE mixed in with it. So now we're running it through our filter press into our canner. And we'll see how much we can squeeze in there. I think that only holds 12 gallons and we got 15. So we're going to have to do a little finagling here at some point. But that's where we are. So I'll get this all bottled or all filtered and bring you back when we're starting to bottle. Okay, we got everything filtered, or not everything, but almost everything. You can see we're almost full to the top here. We got a couple gallons left. We are at 186 degrees. So we are going to start filling out of here the old-fashioned way. What we're going to try to do is get enough out of here so that we can get everything into the canner and we don't have to screw around transferring stuff. So we will fill right up to there like we always do. Put a cap on her, give her a flip. And what that does is it kills any bacteria that's on the inside of the bottle. And we are off and running. So I'm going to get a bunch of these filled up so we got some room. And then we're going to try that new bottling unit out. So we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we got this bottler from Leader set up. It works on a vacuum pump that's in there. This is the overflow bottle. So, y'all are with me on the maiden voyage here. So I think you just put this on top and turn the vacuum pump on. And then set it down. I'm not liking that. I don't know why it's doing that. So, well, that's too full. So we'll dump a little of that out. The bottles are hot. So, I don't know a couple things. First of all, why it was cavitating like that. The hose is all the way down in here. I'm going to top the bottle off. We'll adjust this little guy a little bit. So this is what adjusts how far it fills the bottle. So I think I'll push it down further. So that should stop right about there. So I try to fill the bottles right to the bottom of the threads on the neck. Loosen that. Oh, you gotta push it's got a little locking jabber on it. Let's try that. Hopefully. Well, that didn't work either. Maybe we're going the wrong way. Okay, we got this thing set up. We got it. I'm not sure how to adjust it, and I don't really have time today to mess around with doing it. First thoughts are on it, I don't really like it, so I'll tell you why. And it may be because how I got it adjusted or don't have it adjusted. What we were hoping for was, this is something, my wife's legally blind, and we were hoping that this would be something that would allow her to fill bottles. And I don't think that's quite what it is. So it does. There's a couple things I've noticed so far, and like I said, I haven't looked into it, messed with it, and don't have time to today. So this is just my first impression. So when you fill the bottles, now as you fill this is a 375 milliliter bottle, and when I fill it, I'll let you see it. So it'll start, I don't know, it's cavitating, so it's must be sucking air someplace. I'm not sure if there's a fitting that's loose or something, but as soon as you break the seal and then reseal it, it goes away. So I'm not exactly sure what that is. And second of all, I was under the impression when it got to the hose or somewhere on the hose, well, it's probably that ring right there. So when it gets to that ring, it starts coming back up through into the overflow. And then when you pull this out, the bottle's full to where you want it. The only problem is what's left in the hose drains into the bottle and fills it the rest of the way to the top, which is not what I'm looking for. So I'll show you here. If Megan can get a good shot of the bottle here. So you just turn it on, and it goes fine till it gets to, well, probably somewhere in here. And then it starts this cavitation. And I don't know why it does it. And it gets worse and worse. If you break the seal, it goes away immediately. Put it back on and it's fine again for a little bit, and then it'll start doing it again. So I don't know. See, there it goes again. So I don't know if I'm supposed to pull this out when it gets to the top like that. If that's the case, then it's not full to where I want it. I got to sit here and wait and let it drip. And the other problem is, as it's dripping, is you're taking it away from the bottle, so it'll eventually fill it up to there, which is where I fill all my bottles to. Now I got to be very careful and get it up in the air, and I got syrup on the bottle. So now I got to wipe each bottle, and I got to put a cap on each bottle. Make sure I don't have any syrup on it, because we don't want that on our table when we're selling stuff. Or I could go the other route and fill them the way I have been filling them. There you go. So for right now, I'm going the old way, and maybe when I have some more time, I'll mess around with this and see if I can get it figured out. But in the meantime, I'm definitely not laying down the money for one now. I'm glad I got to try it. Thank you again, Jay, for letting us try this. And maybe we'll get it figured out in a little bit, but that's all for now. So if you like the videos and like the content we got going on, please like and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. And hit the notification button so that when the videos come out, you know they're coming out. If you have any comments about this or anything else we're doing, please leave them in the comments. If you got any suggestions on what I'm doing wrong with this bottler, I'd love to hear it. I guess that's it, and happy first day of summer, and happy birthday to my wife. So, thanks for watching.